Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I wanted to just talk about the TCG, and more specifically what I've been playing as like a budget player, and what I've had some really good success with. So, as you can see, we are playing Shadoll and Traptrix. Traptrix is my more like competitive budget deck, quote unquote. Where's my thing, quote unquote. And then we have Shadoll, which is just my like for fun deck, and I also think it's pretty competitive. It's just like a really solid deck. So yeah, let's just quickly do the explanation of the two decks and just like what I've been doing with the TCG. I've really enjoyed the TCG. It's been super fun, and so yeah, I just kind of wanted to share this. Alright, so we're going to start with the Shadolls because they're slightly less competitive and more just for fun. They're a deck that I really thoroughly enjoy, and I'm also going to be showing you the side decks for all of these. But yeah, very budget. There are like one or two cards in here that I just happen to pull that I'm playing that are, you know, a little bit more expensive, but you can just straight up take them out and they'd still be pretty decent. So yeah, we're going to go triple Squamata, just good card. Triple Wendy. I'm not gonna actually let me know if you guys want me to do more TCG content, talk about like combos or how I play the game or what have you, thoughts on the meta, etc. If you want me to do the TCG stuff, leave a comment, and I'll consider it. So yeah, Triple Wendy. Wendy's just good card. I never feel bad at drawing this as well because just setting it sometimes is enough. Yeah. And then on top of that, it's just like an insane card. Being a different attribute than most of the other Shadolls is very nice. So that's why we're playing 3 of it. We're playing the triple Hedgehog as well. I felt like I needed more Hedgehogs to search more times. Yeah, that's it. Just being able to, like, again, draw a Hedgehog is also just very nice. We're playing 2 Beast, and then 1 apiece of the Dragon, the Ariel, and the Falco. Ariel oftentimes comes out due to like being bad against Kashtira, but I'm also citing a second one due to the fact that it's very good against a lot of like graveyard reliant strategies. So like having the second one is very nice, but most of the time we're just playing the one. And then the rest of these are just like additional tech cards. Shadoll Falco stalls really well, which it can be helpful in just a bunch of different situations. As for the normal summons, we're playing 4 normal summons. We're playing Double Mathematician and a Gale Dogra for Earths. These are also just good for like Earth targets for Shekinaga. Oftentimes you do want to go Shekinaga first to like negate something. But yeah. Gale Dogra is absolutely insane and is just a stupidly good card. I hesitate to play more of this, though, because it can be very bad for you, especially in time. If your opponent, like, infips this, you just kind of down 3,000 points, and going into time, that is a bit of an issue. But this card is very good, just like full combo automatically. Very solid. And then we have the 1 Armageddon Knight as well. We're playing a few hand traps, mostly as like light targets. We're playing the Ghost Ogre and the triple Ghost Ogre and the 1 Effect Veiler. Honestly, this should just be triple Effect Veiler and like Infip and like triple Infip or like triple Nibiru or something like that. But in all honesty, I'm poor, so these were from structure decks, and also my other 2 Effect Veilers are currently in my Traptrix deck, so that's why they're here. Or that's why that one's here. I would switch these if I really was trying to be competitive with this deck. I would switch them. We're also playing the 2 Lava Golems. Yeah, Lava Golem is just a crazy good card. Don't know what else to say. It's also a fire for Gristia, which comes up occasionally. As for the spells, we're playing the triple L Shadoll Fusion. I like maxing out on the Shadoll Fusion cards. You'll see here, we're also, of course, playing the triple Shadoll Fusion, and that is because most of the time I just need to see a fusion spell, and we're off to the races. I rarely have an instance where I need to find a monster, and so because of that, I find it better to play the maximum amount of spells. We're not playing Polymerization, but we are playing a stupid broken card in Super Polymerization. This card was gained from the branded structure deck, so there's that. Most of the rest of this is just from the Shadoll structure deck. But yeah, Super Polymerization, insane card. Today I drew it twice against my opponent who was playing Black Wings, and I just cleaned him 2-0 because of this card. Absolutely insane. And the biggest boon to playing this card in the main deck is that against just about every deck, because of the way that Shadolls work, you basically have the ability to normal summon something and then fuse off the field. Like a Rise Heart, doesn't matter if it's dark. Like, again, a lot with the Kashtiras, even though they are like fire, you can still fuse off with them. That's why we're playing Gristia as well. As for the one-ofs, we're playing a few one-of spells. We're playing Card Destruction. This is a very old copy and a bent copy, but it still works. This card is absolutely insane. It's limited to 1 for a reason. Holy crap, this card is crazy. It just sometimes it just auto wins you games. You get to go like Card Destruction, and off of that, you get to then like activate your own card effects, like for example, a Squamata or a Hedgehog or something like that. But then you also get to fix your hand, which sometimes just is great. So yeah, Foolish Burial, Change of Heart. I plan to go second with this deck a lot of times, especially in game 1. If I win the dice roll, I choose to go second. The reason for that is because Shadoll Fusion, when your opponent doesn't know about it, is never going to be played around, and they are going to end on something from the extra deck. You get a free Shadoll Fusion. It's crazy. And then, yeah, Change of Heart is just a really good going second card. And then the Called By. Called By came up a lot today. But yeah, this card's really, really good. And then we're running 1 each of Core, Schism, and Incarnation. Core I would probably cut for like a second Schism. It comes up a lot that like they're banishing the Schism or like dealing with the Schism where I can't get it back. So I would rather probably play the second Schism. Also, drawing it is like almost never bad. So like playing a second one is nice. But Core is also very nice. You can go like in more of a grind game, you can go like send Core off of a Squamata or a Construct to add back something like a Schism that was sent to the graveyard, or a Shadoll Fusion. So it's still very nice, definitely very strong. Shadoll Incarnation is just so very nice. You send it off of a Squamata, and then you flip up your Hedgehog, and then you grab your Schism. Very, very solid. And then, of course, Schism is Schism. Let's hop into the extra deck. All right, moving on to the extra deck, we have, we're basically maxing out on all of the Shadolls. So we're playing triple Winda and triple Construct. Yeah, combo starter and like big boss monster that actually ends games. And then the Floodgate that slows down games, that allows you to utilize your constant resource advantage to win the game. Honestly, yeah, you just kind of have to max out on these. It comes up so often that I need all 3. In fact, I would play 4 copies of both of these if I could. So there's that. That's how often they come up. Then I play the 3 App Cologne. App Cologne specifically is at 3 because of Gale Dogra. Being able to send an App Cologne and then still have 2 in the extra deck in order to like Schism for or what have you, to kind of protect you from battle or negate things is very, very nice. So, yeah. However, I would probably cut the 3rd for a second Link monster. I'm currently only playing 1. A second one would be nice, just like a generic one. So, yeah, that would be nice. Next up, we have ourselves the double Shekinaga. Shekinaga is really good. This card could also be cut down to 1. It rarely comes up that I need the second, but it does. Like, this card absolutely comes up a lot. It's very, very good. And then we are, as I mentioned, playing the one Gristia. Gristia is very good against specifically Kashtira. You could fuse away some of their boards due to some of them being fire type, but also, importantly, if they special summon anything, basically, because the way that they special summon is an inherent summon, this can just negate it. Just negates the summon, no summon. It's fantastic. So that's very nice. Then we have some Super Poly targets. We're main decking Super Poly, so we're playing the 2 most common Super Poly targets, Mud Dragon and Starving Venom. However, all of the Shadolls are also Super Poly targets. You just normal summon a Shadoll, Super Poly away the board. It's great. This one just happens to get you like the most advantage. I would also consider playing like Trif Overtum, which is 3 dark monsters, which could come up occasionally, but Mud Dragon is much better. And then we have 1 Link monster in Nightmare Phoenix. This is literally just to get cards off of the field. I rarely actually activate the effect. It's not terrible, though, because you can go, like, Nightmare Phoenix, pitch something in order to pop, like, a problematic Floodgate. But honestly, most Floodgates you can actually play around pretty easily due to the fact that a lot of your cards activate in the graveyard. A lot of your cards are, like, just, you know, Floodgates in themselves. You're kind of a control deck. And you have some pretty big stats as well. And so it's like, not any single Floodgate really hurts you, other than, like, anti-spell, I guess. That's kind of it. But, like, you know, any of like the type based things, unless they have multiple of them. Any of the type based or attribute based, you can still play around pretty effectively, which is really cool. That's one of the things that I like about this deck. Let's move on. Speaking of floodgates, how do we deal with those through the side deck? Well, we are playing, of course, the triple twin twister. Honestly, I'm not sure how I like these. Cosmic Cyclone is probably better, but these are cheap. They're from a structure deck, so of course we're playing them. Most of these cards are from structure decks, except for... No, I think like most of it, except for Schism. Schism is like the one card. And I think the Predaplant Fusion, but like most everything else is from one or two of the structures. Next up, we have Dark Ruler No More. We're playing 3 of this. This was from, I believe, the branded one? The branded structure. So again, very cheap, very, very cheap deck lists. Yeah, this card's just good. It's a great side deck card. Oh, your opponent wants to make an unbreakable board? Fantastic, Dark Ruler. We're also playing the one of Raigeki. Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki, and Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn should probably be in the main deck, I'm not gonna lie. This card is just fantastic and wins you games. I actually happened to Super Poly away my opponent's Red Eyes Dragoon, and then I stole it. And now I have a Dragoon on my side of the field, because it was properly fusion summoned. And yeah, that was just fantastic. So, yeah, I probably should put this in the main deck. But it's also just kind of a brick, a lot of the times. Raigeki is also pretty good, something that you could bump up to 3. The problem is that the rest of them are in my other deck, and my other side deck. So that's basically it. Realistically, yes, I should play 3 of these. I should play a bunch of other cards that I need to. Yeah, moving on. We're also playing Hound and Aerial in the side. The second Aerial comes in a lot. Against, like, Branded, it's very good. Against any just, like, a graveyard-reliant strategy. Because it specifically doesn't just target monsters or something like that, you can also do it against, like, Runic and just be like, okay, banish half of your spells in the graveyard. Fantastic. Just very, very solid. And then we're playing one of Ghost Moonlit Chill, Ghost Mourner Moonlit Chill. I don't know where I got this. I just have it. You don't need to play this. This card's bad. Just play Effect Veiler. Again, in the other deck. That's why we're playing this one. And then I'm playing 3 Kaijus, all with different names because it's funnier that way. Legitimately, that's the only reason. We're playing an extra dark and then 2 lights, because sometimes I'll side out hand traps, and the hand traps happen to be the light targets, so we need to side in these guys for additional light targets. And then we have the one of Radion, just because it's an additional big body. But the Kaijus are very good. If your opponent goes like Rise Heart Pass, you could just like, here's a Kaiju. L. So yeah, Kaijus are very good. Moving on. On to the Traptrix. So, I'm not gonna lie, I play this deck because it is good, and it is probably the best, like, budget deck, hands down. It's absolutely insane. I bought 3 structure decks, and basically that's it, and the deck is insane. So, there you go. If you're on a budget, play this. I do not like this deck, but it wins, and it's cheap, and it wins. So that's why I'm playing it. If I want to win, I play this deck. So yeah, we're playing the triple Boudica. Just lots of normal summons. The triple Murmelio. This card is insane. Don't really have anything else to say. Just this card's really good, and you always want to see it. Triple Mantis. This card gets you to the next card in the triple Arachnocampa. As you can see, we're playing lots and lots of Traptrix. We're also playing 2 Dionea and 1 Vesiculo. Honestly, I'd probably cut the Vesiculo and play the 3rd Dionea and just play 15 normal summon. Is it 15? It's 15, right? Yeah, 15 straight up normal summons, maxing out on all of them. These are all great. I love seeing lots of monsters because it's easier to get to trap cards in this deck than it is to get the monsters in this deck. So being able to see additional monsters is always nice. So yeah, that's basically it. Moving on, we have the triple Toon, I guess we'll call it. It's just Destiny Draw. Very, very good card. Yeah, and then of course the 1 Garden. That's it for the spells. Moving on to the traps, we are playing the 1 Holatea, or sorry, the triple Holatea. Yeah, most of the time I actually just go for the Holatea if I can, especially if it's like activating Sarah on the opponent's turn. Just setting the Holatea for the next turn is fantastic. We're also playing the triple Traptrix Traphole Nightmare. This card is very good. The reason that this card is so good is so many cards are specialed, and then specialed that turn, and then you just negate it and destroy it, and it goes away. And it's great. Yeah. Then we're also playing triple Floodgate Traphole. This card is very good, specifically in a Kashtira format, where having a dead monster on the field that doesn't do anything and is just kind of sitting there can end up breaking them. So yeah, just having Floodgate Traphole is very nice. If they go like Special Summon Fenrir and you Floodgate it, and then they're just kind of like staring at you, like, well, now what? It's kind of cool. Then we're playing the one Gravedigger to play around Nibiru. You go on summon 5, you summon the Rafflesia. Rafflesia can then send this to negate Nibiru, which is really cool. And then we can side in some more as well. We're playing the one Terrifying Traphole Nightmare. This card's very nice as well. Originally, I was playing Bottomless. Bottomless is terrible. Play this card. Yeah, that's it. We're playing the triple Ash Blossom because, of course, this card is, for some reason, in the structure deck. Yeah, cool. And then we are playing the triple Evenly, which is also, for some reason, in this structure. Evenly is a dumb card, especially right now in the meta, where everything is basically centered around not, like, actually giving Omni Negates or getting Omni Negates on the field. So being able to go, like, Battle Phase, End of Battle, Evenly, and just wipe their field, and they basically have no retribution, is great. Next up, we're playing, as I mentioned, the other 2 Effect Veilers. Yeah, pretty good. And then the reason that we're not playing all 3 Effect Veilers is because I happen to have the Imperm from the Cyber Dragon fusion deck, or structure deck. And then one of Dimensional Barrier. Yeah, this is also in the... Oh, this is in the branded structure. And, yeah, it's a good card. It's a really good card. But it's not the greatest. Not knowing what your opponent is playing, it's not great to, like, just blind Dimensional Barrier or have this, and it's not a hole, so it's not as, like, searchable. So there's that. Moving on to the extra deck, we are playing Triple Sarah, because of course we are. We're also playing the 2 Colinaria, as well as the 1 Adipus. Yeah, Colinaria is very good if you already have access, like if you've already done your Sarah stuff and you can get a Holatea into the graveyard for the follow-up, so that you can go like Holatea, bring back the Sarah, and then you can also go Colinaria in order to special summon and back another monster. Very good. So yeah, we're playing 2 of that. This is just used for the OTK. That's the only reason it's there, so that's why we're playing only the 1. Then of course we're playing, for the Xyz, we're playing triple Rafflesia. Honestly, I don't know if 3 of this is necessary, but alas, we have it. And then we're playing 2 each of the Ping, which is the Monster Search, as well as the Almeris, which is the Revival. Both of these are fine. Honestly, I don't even know if I need this much in the extra, but there's not much else that I could add, at least at the moment. I could probably add in like the Nightmare Phoenix and stuff like that, which would make it a little bit better, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Then I have a random Bagusa. I think I got it from like a gold series, or not a gold series, the other one. Anyway, a tin, a Mega Tin. And then of course I have a Zeus. I don't know where I got this from. I think I pulled it from a random pack, just like a random pack that I had when this set was released, and when AAZS was like an $80 card, and so I have it. This card is absolutely game winning. I would say you don't need this card, but honestly, while you don't need it, it does win you games, and it does come up a lot. And honestly, you should probably be playing 2 because of Kashtira and the way that Kashtira works. Yeah, this card's crazy. So glad that I have it, but yeah, let's move on. All right, the rest of these cards are just from structure decks. I think it's from either the branded structure or this structure. So we're going to start off with the Retaliating Sea. This is the only monster I have currently in the side deck. This card is just, I don't know, it's good. It works. It's mostly for like branded. You side it in for branded. They activate branded fusion, and then you go Retaliating Sea, and then they go, okay, and then they can't do anything. We have the triple Raigeki. I have the 1 shiny Raigeki. I bought this like ages ago when it was limited to 1, and now it's at 3. Raigeki is for some reason at 3. I still don't know entirely why that's the case, but I guess board breakers are very important. Yeah, this card's really good in a meta with no Omni Negates. Moving on, we have the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, because of course we do. That's it for actually back row removal, because most of the time we don't actually care that much about back row, because most of our monsters are unaffected by traps, which is hilarious. However, against like floodgates, it's nice. So there's that. Maybe I should be playing like the Twin Twisters and stuff like that in here as well, but alas. We're also playing triple Shade Brigadine. Shade Brigadine comes in specifically going first only if you are trying to get into more Xyz, like double Rafflesia or something like that. Honestly, this card's kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the most easily cuttable card. It rarely comes up. It's not very good. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of Traptrix players will sell you on this card and say that it's broken. It's great. It's not. I'm lying. Just straight up, it's not good. The reason for it is, while yes, it does trigger Sarah, it's kind of a dead card most of the time. Yeah, that's basically it. It's just a 4 that you can summon to potentially go into things, but because it's not a trap trick, it does hurt a lot. And it's not like an insect or anything, so it's like the only thing you could go into is like very limited. I think you can go into like Rafflesia. I don't know. I never said this. I could probably switch it for something. Anyway, moving on. We have the one Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. This card's really good. Should probably be playing the other ones. We're playing the one Bottomless. Bottomless is really bad, but occasionally, sometimes, if your opponent is playing Pendulum, it comes up. But that's about it. And then we are citing the other 2 Gravediggers Trap Holes. This card is really good against, like, Branded or any other... Like, if you're expecting, like, to meet a lot of hand traps or something like that, it's also pretty good. It's also good against, like, any sort of graveyard-reliant strategy. I mean, it's even good against, like, Traptrix, because they'll banish something from hands, or they'll banish something from... Or, not banish something from hand. They'll banish something from grave, and you just negate it, and it stops. But, honestly, traps, you probably side out. And then we have the double-dimensional barrier, the last 2. And, yeah, that's it. This is basically the list that Pack used, slightly modified to what I had available. But, yeah, it's been doing wonders. So, there's that. Alright, and that's basically it. Yeah, I've just been really enjoying the TCG. It has genuinely been the most fun format of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've enjoyed. Not having to deal with things like Maxi or what have you is very nice. And I think that while I don't like the current meta in the TCG, I just think that it's significantly better than something like Master Duel right now, due to Master Duel having basically the same problem, where there's like a million decks, all of which are very competent and very strong, but also there's Maxi, so it's like, eh. So yeah, just really been enjoying the TCG, and it's really fun just clowning on people who have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.